Hey, in this video, I will be doing something that is kind of tricky, applying colored acrylic. And guess what color? Red. So I'll explain it step by step and let's check it out. In here, I already prepped the client's nail, so I'm applying primer. She previously had on a nudish color acrylic, so I prepped the nail, took care of her cuticle area, which is very important before applying colored acrylic. Reason why is if you clip the cuticles at the end and you've already applied the color, you will clip away. It can be a millimeter or two, and you will see that space at the end. So in prepping the nail for like these really dark colored acrylics, you really have to prep that cuticle area really well first. So at the end, there's no pushing back or no more cutting. So here we're putting on our primer. She's picking a Valentine's Day color, a really, really fiery red. I'm double priming just to give that extra adhesion, and it should be all ready to go here. So first, I'm gonna put down a base layer of clear. Not a lot. I'm just gently putting down one layer of clear because next time she comes back, she may want to file out the red and change the color. So I'm just putting the clear so when I file out the red, I'll still have that as the base. She may not want to. Another reason also is the red is very staining, so it can stain the natural nail bed. So I just put a coat of clear just to be safe, and preps me, gets me, I'm thinking ahead for the next appointment because I know this client and she really only wears colored acrylic. So we'll be changing out her color. So I won't have to file down to her natural nail bed. So as you can see, I'm just going around applying a very thin layer and getting it ready for the red. And here we're going to start the acrylic. So I'm taking the red very, very lightly. And as you can see, I'm just dabbing it, not really touching the cuticle, just going as close as possible and just brushing on the color. This color is, you have to be really careful of the liquid to the powder ratio. You don't want to get the brush too wet because once this color gets in the cuticle, it's very hard to get out. So that's the key with applying colored acrylic. So as you can see, I took a little more here and I'm controlling it with the brush and I'm spreading it, just covering. Remember, we're going to cap this in clear. So we're just laying the color pretty evenly. So when you see me going back in, working little by little, just making the color pretty even all the way on every part of the nail. If I see one part that might be a shade lighter, I just go in like I just did at the tip and just try to even out. And as you can see, the color's not running in the cuticle, it's not touching the cuticle, it looks even. You really want to keep these colors as neat as possible. It's not easy, but with practice, if you're new at it, you will get it. So you just have to really, as you can see, I'm just fine-tuning it, because once this dries and I put the clear, that's it. There's a little way you can touch up at the end, which I will show you, but as you can see, pretty perfect there. So we're going to do the same thing with the next nail. I'm going as close to the cuticle as possible without touching, and I'm just dabbing, trying to form that perfect semicircle to go around, following the cuticle and bringing it down. It's kind of like you're painting, but not a painting. Just make sure your brush is not too wet, because boy, this will be a hard color to control. So these dark colors like the reds, the blues, the dark greens, black, anything that's a color, not really the light pinks. You know, you have more wiggle room with that as far as fixing it. But these, you just really want it to be neat, because I just have a thing when you see the colored acrylic in the cuticle. It's one of those things that just bug me. So I just rather take my time in the beginning, laying the color, applying it. As you can see, I'm going as close to the cuticle as possible and bringing it down. Every time you see me go in with the red, it's because I feel like an area needs to be a little darker to even out the lighter part of the color, just balancing it out. So I take a look at it from the top and the bottom, all angles. I'm going around so carefully, really trying not to touch the cuticle and those side walls. This is such a pretty red. See? Take a look at it, and I'm adding some more here just to make sure it's as perfect as possible. And just keep looking at it, making sure it's good, and then you can move on to the next nail. We'll go through one more here, very light with the liquid. As you can see, the color's not running. I'm just dabbing to give me movement around the cuticle area, and I bring it down like I'm brushing it. You see? You'll see some nail artists like fully cover with the color, and that's fine too. I just rather work this way, in a controlled way. This is what works for me, and I think this is a good way for new nail techs or people who have a hard time applying the colored acrylic. You know, it can be intimidating, but if you practice it and if you try it this way, I believe you'll get the hang of it. So I'm going in again, and this is like so light. There's hardly any acrylic on the nail. This is just for the color. So we're gonna cap it with clear. And as you can see, I'm going in. I see another area. I'm barely picking up any red on this brush. Barely picking up any red. I'm just going around, and this color is so pretty. I think she wants to make this like her new color. So as I said before, like this client, she likes to do different colors. So next time she comes, we'll file out this red. Remember, I have the clear base under it. So that e-file is not even going to hit her nail. We're just hitting color. And once we get to the clear, we can apply the new color. So you can kind of prep in advance. Some people soak off, start all over, but you do what works for you. So we're just going to do this all the way around. As you can see, I'm trying to get to that, close to that cuticle there. You see, without even touching, I push it back. If you can see, I'm holding back her cuticle. I'm holding it back. That thumb, I'm using it to push back the cuticle area so I can get in there really close as possible. Still holding it back and bringing it around. It takes time, but guess what? You want to take time when you do this. This is not something you want to rush, or if you don't have enough time, you know. I think here's some little red dust right there. So we're going to do the same thing all the way around, and then we're going to cap it in clear. Alrighty, so now we're gonna cap it in clear, and we're just gonna go around as usual and get our clear on so we can file them up. You're gonna apply the clear, make sure you're covering the red. As you can see, you want to get your apex aligned. You want to put enough clear so these babies are going to look really nice when you file them up. You're going to go around. You want to make sure that the clear gets right by the cuticle so it's covering the red, because you don't want to end up filing any of that away. So we're just going to cap all of these in clear and come right back. Okay, time to file. So we capped everything really well, and we're just gonna file the sidewalls. As you can see, I'm filing here, and I'm pretty secure that I covered up all those red areas. So I'm just gonna file all the way around. Look how pretty that looks. Look at that color, and it's not even finished. So we're just gonna go ahead and file these up and come right back. Alrighty, my client has washed her hands, and I'm just cleansing it again with alcohol just to make sure she got all that oil off in the bathroom, and we're gonna get ready to finish the nails. But as you can see, there are a few touch-up spots that I need to fix, and I'm going to show you how to do that really quick. You're just going to get the same color acrylic, and this happens sometimes when you file a little bit too much in one area, or you probably missed the area capping it, or your e-file took it away, but it's an easy fix. So you're just going to get that red acrylic, whatever color you used, and the monomer, and you're gonna ever so lightly just dab it in the monomer, take up a very little bit of color, and you're just gonna touch the nail. Like, watch how I do to this pinky. I'm gonna do the same thing to, there's like 3 spots, 3 nails we have to touch up here. So We're not even going to file this at the end, because once you put your clear, you're good to go. So I'm putting the monomer. I've barely touched the red, if you can tell, so lightly. And I am just dabbing right there. You're going to do that to any part of the nail that needs touching up. You're not going to make it any thicker because we're not filing. So you just want it to blend, kind of watery. And that's it. All right, so my client wants a bling nail, one of my faves. So we're gonna mat all the rest of the nails and we're gonna have one bling nail. It's gonna look so cool. So here we're just putting our gel on to glue our crystals, and we're gonna speed up through this process because you don't want to see me putting every stone on one by one. But what I do here is I put a glitter, very faint glitter, in the background so that if there's any missing spot, or say a stone was to fall out, or it just reflects behind the stone so it doesn't look like there's any gap, you would see that little sparkle of the glitter. So that's a little trick I do when I do a full bling nail. So I just make sure there's like enough glitter around before I put my crystals on. Here we are. Look at that bling. Oh, we love this. The matte, the bling, it's like the perfect mix. My client loved her birthday / Valentine's nails, and I think we hit this one on the nose. The acrylic looks clean, just perfect. So tell me guys, did I nail it? If you like this video, hit the like button and be sure to subscribe.